What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard. Tikwe, known as Richard. Sorry, my microphone was way in the distance. I actually forgot to get it closer to my face before I started the video. Reason being, I was so excited to start making this video just because of the dynamics of how things worked out. So this is a French mirror matchup. You can see here in the top, French versus French. Nothing fancy or nothing special about it. Just knowing that it is a water map, so you can see just crazy. I personally struggle with French, or let me put it like this. I struggle with boats. I don't see the point of raiding around with boats when they can't reach landmarks, when they can't really... Yes, you can secure food and you can go for landmarks or you can go for a wonder, but I don't know, I just hate the boats. It just makes my life very difficult. So very early on I decided to go for a different strategy, and you can see it's quite nice. My gold is quite secure. Sometimes you get these very ugly forward gold, sometimes this is like half inside the water. These berries very exposed, that gold is very exposed. The rock is pretty safe, or stone rather, excuse me, I'm South African, we call it a rock. But you can even see the deer very exposed, so just getting some sheep going. And for like the first 2 minutes I forgot it was a water map, so I was so heavy on sheep instead of getting them onto lumber, and eventually I trickled in villagers onto the food so that I can just get the food per minute up. You can hop over to the enemy side. You can see he's also on the food, on wood. He already has his dock out. I can't be bothered. I can't really not be bothered. Title of this video is gonna be "Who needs boats on a water map?" You know, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, so a few things to talk through while this is going on in the background. I did pause there. So let's just jump into tech trees. French are extremely strong on the water. They are very well known for you know, just asserting their dominance very early with these hulks. They have low maneuverability, yes, but they have this little thing people like to call spin to win. So you have attack on both sides, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So when you micromanage these, you get off quite a lot of shots, and 3 of them versus maybe 7 or 8 Delhi Sultanate boats, you'll probably win the fight. It can take on a lot of different archery type of ships because it has a ballista instead of archers, whereas in the Castle Age you already get access to forward cannon bombards, the galleas, and obviously your demolition ship. If we compare that just quickly to let's say the Rus, as another example, they have the Lodya attack ship, and it's crewed with archers. So if you're going to compare archers versus you know, like the French, you're going to struggle. Even with the Chinese, who's pretty decent on water, but they are also you know, you can see right here around this area, they are crewed with archers. So it's very difficult for these archer ships to take on the French, and very easy for the French to get water dominance, because you just focus heavy on gold and wood, get those first, give or say, 10 ships out, and you just park them outside the enemy base and basically keep control of the map. You can train up a ton of what do they call them? Fishing boats. I thought there were special names, but yeah, fishing boats. Remember, if you are on a water map, do go for the deep water fish. Like if you had to build the dock right here, this deep water fish you can see right here is 2,000 food, and the shoreline fish is 1,000 food. But deep water fish gather faster than shore-based fish. It is the fastest source of food. So a normal shipping boat shipping from deep water fish will bring up will bring back much more food than it would necessarily when it was on a shore-based fish. So he did get some decent spawns. I mean, the 3 close by here, there's one very close here on the side. So when you have your scouting about, it is an island. Try and run as far into the water. If it was me on his side, I would probably start here, because that's very safe on the side with the 2 deep water fish here. This 4,000 food right there will get you very far into the game. You know, and then you have all these extra, you know, hidden or far distant deep sea fish that no one probably ever farms. But hey, they are there. If they were closer by, it would have at least helped you in some way. I don't know why they are so far. So back on my side, you can see very low on the wood this side. We came down to eventually get our dock up, get our ships out, so we can just get some, you know, extra food production. I didn't want to spend too much villagers on food. I know here we go for the deer, just to get a better source of food, because my sheep was running out, and I didn't want to invest into enemy ships, you know, like the Hulk or the Galea. So like I just found it quite annoying. So he goes for the Chamber of Commerce, which is definitely, especially in higher elo games, the preferred landmark when it comes to water maps. But what you have to also take into consideration very early on, I could have very much utilized that if I didn't hate boats so much. But if, let's say I took one of these boats, the fishing boats, I scattered around, I found this forward market, it's on my side, and again it's on my side, so this market does not give him access to trading. So if I had to defend basically this, let's call it a choke point, a very big choke point, I could have had trading ships trading all the way from the back here, because distance makes a difference in your resources amount that you bring back, and because it's trading ships, you get extra gold, you get extra wood with the gold that you bring back. Another thing to take into consideration when you train that Chamber of Commerce, you get all traders and trader ships return 30% more resources to any market or dock. So if you have about 20 trading ships running up and down, and I think if I'm correct, they only cost, oh, they actually cost 2 population, not 1. So that would essentially be about 40 population, but you're coming back with so much resources, let's say from those 20 trading ships, that you would over dominate him on an economy level, upgrade through your ages, get your, you know, boat upgrades. So definitely scout out the map, very important. I did not, if you can look at my map, that's what I see. If you look at his side, that's what he sees. None of us are scouting. We just, it's a very low level thing to do, and not try and find information on your enemy. He's going for the second dock. We both have castle edge. He has the opportunity to balance his economy with the market, and I have the opportunity to train Royal Knights. So I decided to go for a Royal Knight rush, because who trains any defense when you're on a water map, you know? I was quite scared of running into, you know, like 6 or 7 hulks and losing all my units, but I think if I delayed it maybe by 2 or 3 minutes, just to get a few extra archers out, and I actually had a boat scout out his side. I think your trading transport ships has a bit further range than a fishing ship, so they can scout a little bit better, almost like what a scout does for the land. The transport ship does that for water. So you train a transport ship, you have the opportunity to just scroll around, get all these fog of war areas open, so you can actually see what's happening in the enemy side and actually know what's going on. Sorry if there's a bit of noise in the background. That is the fans Blowing, I think I can maybe try and reduce the sensitivity. Hopefully it's a little bit less. I forgot about them because I'm from South Africa. It is summer. It is blazing hot right now. But yeah, so we have quite a significant amount on wood. We have 12 on wood. We have 12 on gold. And essentially we have 7 on food. We do have our second landmark up, the School of Cavalry. Excuse me. Apologies. And we have 5 fishing ships, so nothing abnormal. You know, if you compare it to his side, he has 10 fishing, 10, 11, 12, 14 fishing ships. You know, and he has 23 villagers on the wood and another 10 on the gold. And you can see on the Hulk's cost, it needs a little bit more wood than does gold. 300 wood, 240 gold. So it's quite a big investment, and also quite a nice way, and something to take note of in the future. I don't know how far you can get a outpost. If you click on a villager, build an outpost. A lot of people build their outposts. You can see I came straight into his world, right? I didn't try and come in from the side or anything fancy, but I do get my units off, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, where's your forward gold? Because my gold was forward. I thought I was gonna get the rush, so I do, you know, get 1, maybe 2 villagers here, and he tries to defend it. I get the 3rd villager there, and now I don't even have my upgrade yet. You know, I run them off into the distance, didn't look at what I was doing. This is also a glitch that sometimes happens in the game, the little blue line. But here I essentially almost lose a knight because I am waiting for him to come out of the base and I accidentally ran towards this gold mine. So only now I'm starting with the chivalry upgrade. So I have to decide, how am I going to use all these resources, because I invested quite heavily into a night rush, which I completely messed up. You know, I just blindly right-clicked to the front of the base and just squirted ahead. No pun intended. So I do try to go for the rush here. I found the villagers, immediately bring my other knights over. He does the right thing by training the barracks, because he is quite heavy on the wood. He does have that extra 300 wood even after training the barracks, and you can see how strong, you know, one royal knight is versus all these villagers. Why they were running at the speed of light there, I really don't know. Why they were so much faster. Maybe that's also another game glitch. I am not sure. There is kinks that they are sorting out, but essentially those villagers started running there at the you know, speed of cavalry. So I'm just trying to pick off as many villagers as I can right there, and I took my 1 little archer. That's why I say if I had maybe 5 or 10 archers before I decided to rush, I could have used the blacksmith upgrade, which is called siege engineering, and used that. You'll see I'll shortly start building a ram here at the back. You see the battering ram, there we go. So if I could get this battering ram up, my idea at this point was, you know, if this little villager is just in the back corner here, you know, nothing fancy, let's train like 6 or 7 battering rams with this little one, you know, Han Solo archer, and just siege him down. That would have been GG. But he does come forward. I think his spider senses were tingling, and he does come and, you know, spot me out. But if I can give you a comparison, he has 4 hulks out. I have 0. I barely have fishing boats out on the map. He has an extra hulk here, essentially, you know, a ton of fishing boats. So at this point in stage, most people will just tap out GG. But I was like, no. At this point, I decided, I remember clearly, I was like, I am not losing this game. You know, it can't be that hit and miss with water maps that you have to, you know, just play one tactic. So I'm going to speed up a little bit here. It is a 30-minute game to show you how much dominance he gets on the water. So he has the extra hulks coming forward. He has the hulks here picking off my, you can see the spin to win here, scrolling left, scrolling right, and that's how you get those extra shots off. I have a little bit of stone running here. I do have the opportunity to go into Castle Edge right now, so I do decide to go with the Royal Institute, so I don't have to worry so much about those specific upgrades, and I go for another double stables. So I do have the School of Cavalry plus 2 stables, and now I have to decide how I'm going to defend this, because he's starting to essentially siege me down, and he has a economy lead on me because I had to invest in trying to get away from the siege. But at this point I'm just trying to stay out of the line of fire of these you know, springle based attacks, the ballistas. So I tried getting the 3 docks up, but one thing you have to remember when you're trying to build docks or trying to get that sneaky a little dock up, look at these idle villagers. You can use the villagers to repair the boat. He does eventually start shooting the villagers down, which was a waste on my side. And you can see it's just one shot because the ballistas do 100 ballista damage and the villager is 50 health. He's going to one shot any villager. You know, there's no ranged armor on a villager. So I tried, honestly I tried getting some form of water fight going. I was like, yes, I'm going to train 3 docks, you know, I'm investing all these resources and wood and a ton into gold, and at this point I'm like, okay, wait. I even at some point stopped building my landmark because I just didn't know what to do right now. So in this case, ask yourself, like, if your enemy has a resource advantage, he's probably already pushing. You can see I'm still H2. I actually did stop building that landmark. I'm gonna get it right here. There I go into H3, but he's essentially more than 5,000 resources ahead. I just have gold and stone. So I try getting these villagers forward, and at this point they're even long mining. Look at this wasteful mining on my side. You know, if you want to play very defensive, you can use villagers and stonewall almost on this water line. So you can defend a very big part of your base early on if you invest into that type of defense. But you can just see more hulks coming out. He has 5 hulks right here, 2 hulks defending the choke point, another 2 coming out. A ton of fishing villagers just doing their thing. He's moving a dock closer so the boats doesn't have to travel as far. So really doing a decent job, and I think at one point he actually runs out of wood, so he has to decide what to do. And you can see on his side he's 33 villagers deep onto gold. I decided to reinvest into food. Remember, like 2 seconds ago, just jumped back and I invested into 26 farms because I'm like, well, I need royal knights, right? If I can get a one fight all in royal knight rush and see if that helps, you know, maybe I could get something going. Just have a look at this as well. He has 7 hulks right now, right? They don't have any siege damage. It's ballista, but they don't count as siege. So with a keep, we have the 5,000 health firstly, and 50 ranged armor. So each shot essentially does only 50 damage as far as I understand. You can check if we look at the health, excuse me, of the keep right now, it's 4,000. So they do pretty decent. I think I got 2 or almost 2. You can see this one is very low. And then he brings in a few more. I didn't know if he was trying to, you know, rush this keep, or he wasn't sure if I was trying to, you know, get a few docks out or whatever. But I'm investing into royal knights. I'm at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some keeps up, and this is also a good thing because it forces him to start training a different type of unit, because he knows the hulks are not good, like 1 keep and these hulks are struggling, right? Obviously if he had to rush units at this point like I'm doing, he would have done a 10 times better job at it than I do. And I advise that in the future, if you do have the water lead, your second job would be, in this scenario, 6,000 food, 3,000 gold already sitting in the castle age. You know, if you're not going for a imperial age, just rush. You know, what's his population sitting at? I'm not even sure. Let's quickly check. I know boats do take a lot, so he's sitting on 130 population. But let's say you try 70 horsemen with that resources, right? There's no way someone's going to defend 70 horsemen if they're already at a disadvantage like I am right now, right? So he brings in the galleass to try and attack this keep, but just take note, keeps and tower outposts are very strong against boats. Don't underestimate this. But look at his resources, right? This is never a good sign if you're in a lead. Spend your resources, think of a strategy, get to Imperial Age, get your upgrades down. You know, essentially I don't even have blacksmith upgrades here. I am just training Royal Knights, right? And I think at this point he started to expand to a forward gold. You know, he has the guild hall sitting on 1,380 wood, so he's using it to gain a wood advantage. That's also a really good landmark to get, especially also on water maps or in games where you see or plan to go into a very late game. But I mean, if you are the opponent here, he has this choke point under control. There's very little you're going to do with one island. So he does the right thing by expanding to the second and to the third island. If this was you again, if you were a CLG in this case, take villagers, build outposts, build 2 or 3 outposts so you have vision. He does go for a red palace here. If it was me again, I would have placed a red palace here on the top, so that would have given you a very broad view of what was going on. So as you can see right now, I have the first little sneaky dock here at the far corner. I have 35, essentially 36, 37 Royal Knights, because I did calculations. I said, okay, 16 plus 16, it's like, you know, 34, maybe a few villagers or something in there, just in case I need to do something. And in my opinion, that was the perfect call. So I don't know, firstly, if you look at my point of view, right? I streamlined straight down the middle, so I still don't know what's going on here. I don't know if there's choke points or land masses here on the side. So I have to choose, okay, where or how am I going to get to his base, because I want to raid him with cavalry, right? So I get to the second island here and I'm like, okay, safest bet for me is sneaking on the side. You know, keep the villagers on gold, keep the villagers on food. If I have to retrain, I can just use this you know, stables to get more Royal Knights up. And still, from his perspective, you can see CLG has no idea I'm even here. And I have a whole army literally at his back door. How crazy is that, guys? So it's not set in stone. If you have sacred sites going off, you have a royal palace, and you have an age lead, it's not set in stone what's gonna happen. I sent one of my what do you call it, transport ships forward, and then I saw the red palace, kind of freaked out for a good second, and then I just sent forward these 2 other transport ships, because my idea was, you know, get a second dock up here in the corner, train 2 more so he doesn't know what's happening, and just send them forward again to the main base, right? So he's starting to play very aggressive. He did train out your Carax, is the strongest French cannon warship, very good at sieging, anti-structure specialist, very high range. These units can come up to the shore here and probably would be able to take down my my town center as well. So don't put all your landmarks, like in this case, second landmark, School of Cavalry, it's gonna get picked off. He's more than enough in range. Third landmark, Royal Institute, he's gonna be able to pick that off because it is in range. So essentially now I have the first transport ship ready. I have the villagers here, but I know he took the sacred side. I know the red palace is here, so I cannot take all of the Royal Knights and just rush his base, because I'm going for a landmark win, right? let's just go to fuel all so you guys can see exactly what's happening. Look at this advantage that he has. He has, you know, 7 boats essentially just sieging me down right here. He has 10 hulks wreaking havoc on the side right here. I do have the forward keep here. I have villagers that's, you know, transitioning into my other gold sources because I depleted this one. And now, you know, I'm ready. I'm moving forward. I'm rushing forward with these transport ships, getting these royal knights out, and each royal knight, right, has 310 health. Very, very strong. And I'm just going straight for landmark sniping, right? When it comes to torch damage, it's a little bit lower. When you upgrade the units, I think it's a little bit higher. But yeah, I'm just like, you know, he does go for a keep, but he has 3 spearmen, right? Yes, you have 110,000 boats to take on my base, but he's sitting on more than quadruple my resources, and I'm sitting with 32 horsemen sieging you down. So you can decide, you know, what you want to do. But I personally don't like boats. Just putting it out there. If it's the standard of the game or the outlay of the map, then I do apologize, but this is not the first time where I've completely lost the water and had the opportunity to siege down an enemy like I'm doing right now, right? Picking off more than 30 villagers who try to rebuild this landmark. Essentially, he's just trying to get this keep going up, and at this point I see the landmarks going down. I don't know if he was able to reach the town center. It did take damage, so I think he could have sieged it down, and that would have been GG. I would have completely lost the game if he just kept on shooting at the town center, and I think that might have been a you know, experience gap, because he's like level 20 and I think I'm 65 or 66. So the first landmark is down. I know he's Imperial Age, so there's 4. The second thing we do is, while that siege was going on, we trained the you know, siege workshops here with a few extra villagers. That was a good call, and we just get 2 trebuchets out. And now we're using the trebuchets. We have a few cavalry that we left behind just to defend them, just for in case, because obviously he does have some form of economy going on here. And I just run forward so I can see what's happening with the keep. Is there anything defending it? And the goal of the trebuchets is just to siege down this one red palace. That's all they need to do, right? I got the first town center down. I got the Chamber of Commerce down, and I'm not sure where the third landmark is. So I sent forward a few cavalry, and I finally spot out the guild hall here. This is my perspective. You can see trying to find this little third landmark, fourth landmark, getting the trebuchets onto the Red Palace. He was probably going for a sacred site win. You can see he does own both sacred sites, so if I didn't do anything, he was going to win. So I do see the guild hall. I just finished off the town center again, and now I have 24, you know, unupgraded Castle Age Royal Knights just sieging down the last guild hall landmark, which essentially has 5,000 health. And it does have 50 ranged armor, so it does take time. I mean, if there was some form of defense, even with a keep firing like crazy, these Royal Knights are capable of, you know, sieging this down in their vast numbers because of the health that they have. And there we go. GG, guys. I don't know if that's a good strategy. You tell me. Please do comment your opinions if you think this was cheesy, or if you think this was something that's actually viable, you know, to kind of give forth that you are playing at a disadvantage and then have this huge army massing at the back. But it is very important, just from a perspective of you know, the overview with this specific game, right? To show you, like, in all aspects, he had the total score lead, the military lead, the technology lead, the society lead, much more villagers than I did. He, you know, lost a lot of units and buildings at the end. And on the economy side, I did keep up with the food, but he essentially had double the wood. I did invest very heavily into the gold, so I didn't know I did so well on the gold, but everything else he did better than me. So why does this work? I think essentially is just choosing a strategy and sticking to it. It's a 50-50 call. If he had to spot out those Royal Knights and he had some time to respond to it, I don't know, if you have that much advantage, send a scout, send mini armies to raid your enemy, with all those boats dominating the water, so you can at least know what's going on, because it's very easy to still lose the game if you don't have that information, or close off all the sides of your bases with stone walls or something, so if he has to attack you, it's going to be from a centralized point, or you have an opportunity to respond in time. But thank you very much for watching, guys. That was a French mirror matchup on a water map. I thought that was actually just a very nice video to a game to play. It's my 10th video that I'm posting on this channel. It's a brand new YouTube channel. I'm still very new to streaming and casting games, so thank you very much if you watched any of my videos, and I hope to see you soon again on some more other videos. Have a very nice day.